But that reminds me of a little story. Children, now it's time to talk to you again. I know you've been left out for a little while, but children, who wants to come up to the stage and sit on the steps? Sit on the steps. You don't have to raise your hand, you just come right on up. You grab it. Come on up, my friends, sit on the stairs. Grandpa Death has a special story for you. All right? I told this way back when, and now is the time. Now, as you're getting settled, I'm going to talk to the grown-ups yet again for just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously, the buckets are not completely for comic purpose. We all know what they're for. At the end of a show, a street performer will go out to the back of their house or go back to an area, and that is your chance to thank them. That is their chance to thank you for being there. And if you can, to put something into the bucket, if you can do so. That's all I'm going to say about that, all right? I'm not a hard sell, all right? But I will say that whoever puts a $5 in the bucket gets an extra month to live. Anyone who puts in a 10 gets to take a month from someone else. That always gets a bigger laugh. Sickos. In any case, that's all we're going to do. All right, kids. I've got a special story for you. Do you know the story of Little Red Riding Hood? Yes, this is just like it. And it's called Dante's Inferno. Right? Once upon a time, a man named Dante woke up in the land of the dead, surrounded by zombies. Oh, you've got red on. All right, don't tell me they're not desensitized by television. All right, let's try this. Hold on, here we go. Once upon a time, a man named Dante woke up at 3:15 in the morning in the middle of an all-night Wal-Mart. Also surrounded by zombies. So just as he's about to abandon all hope, an old man older than God ran up to him, and he had a blue vest on with a name tag that said Virgil, and he gave Dante a smiley face sticker, which made him feel a whole lot better. And he said, Dante, I am Virgil. I can lead you through the 9 departments of Wal-Mart. But you must listen to my every instruction. You cannot buy anything, no matter how underworldly the values may seem. All right, I can do that. So they head off on their journey, and the first place they go is the sporting goods section, where they see Ted Nugent buying a machine gun crossbow and made entirely out of meat. And then they're off to the music department, where they see Ted Nugent's new CD, made entirely out of meat. And they find themselves in dire straits there, because they encounter the Sticks. U2 CD box set.
I'm right here, Maurice. I'm not going down.
And then they move on, and there's a horrible earthquake, and they have to watch out for falling prices. And then they're off to the hardware department, where Dante looks with his hands and not with his eyes, and he gets his fingers pinched in one of the 7 deadly vices. Sloth, actually, which is an Australian animal. Climbs down a tree to poop. Yeah, the kids like the poop joke. And then they finally get to an area that's just all ruins and desolation and debris, and it's got a sign that says, "Pardon our dust." And Dante says, Virgil, what manner of wretchedness is this? And Virgil says, This was our infant section, but the Pope took all the unbaptized babies, sent them to heaven, so we don't need it anymore. Really? What are you going to do? Well, we're thinking about putting in, what? Spit it out. A Starbucks. Oh, all right, good. And then Dante sees the exit. And the rays of sunlight splash down upon him. He runs for the exit, and just as he's about to go out the door, something insidious catches his eye. An Us Weekly with Brangelina on it. And he cannot resist. And Virgil says, "No, Dante, don't, you're so close." And he says, "No, I must have it. But don't worry, I'll use the convenient self-checkout. We'll be out in no time." It was not to be, because it would not scan correctly. And it was too light for the machine to know it was in the bag in the first place. And there was no cashier assistance to be found, so he threw down his impulse item in disgust, and he ran out the doors where the little guardian at the gate peeped at him, and he had to talk to the manager for about 15 minutes. He didn't have anything. Weird. And then finally, He went into the sunlight of day. Easter morning, the sun was beautiful. Easter morning, he steps out full of new life. And Virgil says, congratulations, Dante, you've made it through the inferno. Now all you have to do is get to purgatory. Dante says, there's no way I'm going back to Utah again. Give the kids a round of applause. Thank you, kids. Yeah, go back to your seats, my friends. Yes? Yeah, I'm going to remember you. Fine, go back to your seat. We'll see you soon, buddy. Well, I'll see you. Head back to your seat. Oh, I love your shoes. I love your shoes. They float. That means if you're drowning, your shoes will be fine. Can you turn around and go back to your seat? I have to talk to the grown-ups for a second. Go on. Ooh, careful. That wasn't me. All right, I'm petty, but not as petty as Final Destination 2 and 3 would make me look. Before we go, folks, did you have a good time? Do you feel smart? You should, and here's why. Because you came out on Memorial Day, you turned off your televisions, you turned off your connections to the wireless interwebs, you set down your Nintendo Wii, sparing all the small animals and vases in your house a good pummeling. And you came out to the Tennessee Renaissance Festival to see live theater. All right? You are very brave indeed, people. Very nice. Oh, I love you. All right. Before we go, because you are so special, you are so brave, we're all going to take an oath. We made an oath for the kids earlier on. This is not about smoking, it's for the adults. Kids, I don't care if adults smoke. All right? Remember, grown-ups can do whatever they want. Life is pain, suck it up. All right? Adults, take your right hand, put it on your heart. Take your left forefinger, thrust it high into your nose. Because nothing says I'm brave like picking a booger in public. Of course, it also might say, I thought the tinting on my windows was darker. We've all seen it. In any case, repeat after me in loud and proud voices. I will not be afraid.
I will not be afraid.
In a sometimes scary world.
In a sometimes scary world.
Because this makes Grandpa Death sad.
This makes Grandpa Death sad.
And drink too much bourbon. And when death goes on a bender, bad things happen to good people. Good, now it's your problem. That's my show. I'll see you in the back, everyone. I'm going to leave a bucket up front in case you'd like to stay for the Royal Improv show and you don't want to lose your seat.